Hey everybody, today I'm going to talk about automotive inspections, pre-purchase inspections to be exact. So if you don't know much about me, I owned a company. I started and ran a company called Lemon Squad Auto Inspections. They're the largest automotive inspection company in the world as far as I know, definitely the biggest in the country. And we would do pre-purchase inspections all across the country. I've sold Lemon Squad. I've been away from Lemon Squad 100% for the last 3 months or so. I totally walked away, but I actually sold it 3 years ago, or a little over 3 years ago. So today I want to talk about why you should get a used car inspection done and why have a used car inspection company do it other than a local repair shop. Maybe you have a repair shop you're used to going to, and why not let them do the used car inspection? And you for sure can, but why is a used car inspection better from an inspection company? And I thought I would talk about some of those things. So when it comes to evaluating a used car, opting for an automotive inspection over your local repair shop can make all the difference, and I'll tell you why. You get an honest evaluation. This is a third-party company. If they say they need that it needs the work, you can trust that it needs it because they're not going to try to sell you the work. So an inspection company is there only to report on what they find, not try to sell you work. Where an independent shop, it's in their business model to be able to find work and then sell you work. So for example, maybe it has an oil seep where it's leaking just a little, not even leaking, seeping a little oil from the pan, just a little wet, not dripping. Now, an inspection company will say, well, it's seeping a little oil, but we don't recommend a repair right now. Where an independent shop, the local, mom and pop shops or chains, they're going to tell you that it needs to have that seal replaced because it's wet there and it's leaking when in fact it isn't. There's one small thing out of many things that they would try to do. What else can I tell you? Our guys, as far as inspection companies go, and they're not all the same, by the way. We're looking for previous accident damage. We're looking for previous flood damage. Independent shops don't do that. They don't know how to do that. They're not trained to do that. Our guys at Lemon Squad, we would train them in how to do that sort of thing because that was a really big deal. The way the weather's changed in the world, lots of floods, lots of hurricanes, and these cars that we look at that have flood damage, a lot of them aren't being sold in areas where you would typically look for that sort of thing. In other words, if on the East Coast a flood comes through and wrecks a bunch of cars, it isn't in the East Coast that they'll sell them. They'll be selling them in Arizona or New Mexico, somewhere where there are no floods. People aren't looking for this damage in those areas. They don't know how to, except our inspectors do because we train them to. And independent shops just don't look for that sort of thing. They don't know how to look for that thing. They might be really good at repairing your brakes, but they don't know how to check for flood damage or accident damage. And they're definitely not going to have a paint meter tool. That's a tool we use that measures the thickness of the paint on the car. So if a car came from the factory with 4.5 mils of paint all around it, and we use our paint meter, and we can see that it's 4.5 almost all the way around it, except for a fender has 15 mils of paint, we can tell that that fender's been replaced. Even though we can't see it with our naked eye because the work was done really well, we can see with our tool that that's been repainted. We can also see, depending on the thickness, if it was an accident damage too, because of course, if it's an accident damage, they're going to use a little Bondo in there, and this tool will all of a sudden get thicker, bigger readings, and that means there's Bondo in there as well. And sometimes it gets so thick that our tool won't even read through it, and that means they used a ton of Bondo, and there either is no metal behind it or it's so deep in there because of all the Bondo that it just can't see it. So shops don't do that. Independent shops don't know how to do that. So these inspection companies, and again, not all of them are created equal, they look for that stuff. If you take a car to an independent shop to have a used car inspection, they kind of put it up on a hoist. They're going to look for leaks, brake work, steering work, and maybe suspension. A lot of them don't have an alignment rack, so they don't want to push the suspension work as much as some shops that have an alignment rack. Even though they might see that it needed just out of the corner eye, they might not even tell you that it needs anything because they don't want to sell that. They don't have an alignment rack. But they know how to sell brake work and steering work because that's easy work, and suspension work's easy too. So that's the work they want to sell. That's the work they want to see that you need. And sometimes you need it, and sometimes it's borderline and you don't need it, and sometimes you don't need it at all. If our guys at an inspection company say it needs it, it needs it. They don't care if you fix it or not. They're not the ones selling you the work. They're just there to tell you that it needed it. So that's some of the difference between using an inspection company and using a independent repair shop. I think all day long you get more bang for the buck between out of the two going to an actual inspection company. But again, you got to be careful because not all inspection companies are created equal. Now, on a side note, I'm in a non-compete with Lemon Squad, so I can't start a business right now, but next year I can. So everybody, I've got a video out there. Everybody who hasn't seen that video know that I'm going to be back in the market. I'm coming back into the inspection world next year with a company called Expert Auto Check. So I'm not there yet. I got to wait for this non-compete. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I will be coming back into this industry. I had some time off. You know, I sold it 3.5, almost 4 years ago, and I'm ready to get my hands dirty again and jump in. And I think I'm 53 years old. I got one more big company in me, and Expert Auto Check is going to be that company. So stay tuned. Watch some videos about that are going to be coming up in the future. I'll be talking a little bit more about that. So anyway, I hope everybody's having a great day, and we will talk to everybody on the next video. Please subscribe and hit the like button. I don't usually say that. I always forget, but please do that. We'll talk to you guys later. Take care.